I always preface my class during the welcome by saying no matter where you are in your practice, you reach the right place. So I try to give modifications for people at different levels. So maybe, you just, your body doesn't want to do certain things today, and that's totally fine. I said a couple minutes ago, if you want to use props, that's fine. I have a strap, but you don't need it. If you have a belt, if you like to use props, if you have a belt or sometimes like a men's tie or a long scarf, that helps. Also, if you like to use a block, again, not required, not necessary, but if you don't have a block, a thick book, or even sometimes I use some of my son's like board games if they're sturdy to help. So today I thought we'd focus on twists. Good morning, Ashlyn. Welcome. I'm focusing on twists. So to me, I think twists are kind of like a reset for the body. It's almost like bringing out a towel, pretending your body's that towel. I actually love it. It's good for the back, the upper back, the lower back, good for the abs. And also really good for digestion and internal organs. So I always think it's like great to start off a new week doing some twists and feeling detoxified and refreshed. So the only thing with twist is that I asked you to breathe deeply. So we'll start by in a comfortable seated pose with some breathing exercises. And also during the twist, really try to twist from your belly or lower spine first. And also alignment's key. So trying to keep your shoulders in line with your hips. So I'll cue that during the hour. But really also besides breathing, the most important thing is to listen to your body. And take breaks if you need to. I always say, like, if you lay down the whole class, it's still yoga, and I'm still super proud of you for coming. So please be kind to yourself. And, like I said, have water. If you have a fan, it can get hot really quickly. So, keep comfortable. So just a couple housekeeping rules. Maybe you can just mute yourself. Because I do play music, so I want you to hear me and the music, but feel free to unmute yourself if you have questions or you don't understand anything or something hurts. I'm happy to stop and help you. Also, I don't have to see you. I love seeing your faces, but if you want to turn the camera off or away, that's totally fine as well. So I just wanted to preface that first. So we are going to start in a comfortable seating position, and that can be cross-legged or, your legs out in front of you if that's comfortable for you. Some people like to sit on their shins, so if your body's calling that, that's fine too. The most important thing is you want a straight back, so I use my thumbs under my armpits just to give my chest a little lift, and then send my shoulders back and down. So that's usually a good starting alignment. And maybe if you feel comfortable, close your eyes, and we'll start taking some deep cleansing breaths. So take a deep inhale through your nose, really fill your belly up with air, and then open your mouth and sigh it out. Do that a couple more times. Inhale through your nose, really fill up your belly, try to fill up your chest, and then sigh it out. One more time, inhaling through your nose, and then sighing it out. This time we'll move to closed mouth breathing. So you can do your inhales and exhales through your nose. This is also a great time to set an intention for the next practice, for the next hour or the next week. If there's something in your life you want to manifest or bring about, if you want to send some kind words to yourself, I highly encourage that, or maybe some kind thoughts to someone else in your life. I like to remind you that deep breathing removes thoughts that aren't useful to us, and so it works here in yoga and in real life. And it just helps to focus on your breathing, maybe trying to match the length of your inhales to your exhales. Try to relax your jaw muscles. If you're sitting down, let your butt muscles just melt into the mat. Just try to relax all parts of your body. And then when you're ready, if you want to, you can slowly flutter your eyes open, or you can keep them closed. And we're gonna just start with some neck rolls. So bring your right ear to your right shoulder and just make some circles. I like to start slow, feel where there are kinks, and then maybe pick up the pace a little bit. You want to remember to keep that straight back. You want to remember to keep breathing. And then the next time your left ear hits your left shoulder, take your circle in the other direction. And then when you're ready, come to bring your head to center, and we'll do some side bends. So inhale your right arm up, leave your left hand on the floor, and reach over. So really, again, you're trying to keep your shoulder in line with your hip. It's a chest opener. You're not caving in. You're opening out. And really sit on that right hip to get a nice extension along the right side. Inhale, come up through center. We'll just switch sides. So lower that right hand down. Reach your left arm over your ear. Press on that left hip down to the floor. Inhale, come on up, and we'll do a little twist. So bring your right hand behind you, left hand on your right knee, and inhale, lift your chest first, give you some space in your belly, and then slowly twist over to the right, your belly first, then maybe your ribs, and then maybe your chest. So if you're looking back, your head's the last thing to turn. Slowly unwind, and we'll switch sides. So right hand on left knee, left hand behind you on the floor. Remember, inhale, lift your chest first, and then slowly twist over to the left. Exhale, slowly unwind. And then we're gonna roll onto all fours. So we'll meet in a tabletop position, or you wanna get there. You just wanna make sure that your hips are directly over your knees and your shoulders are right over your wrists. That's usually the best alignment. And we'll move into some cat-cows. So on the inhale, drop your belly, pull your chest forward, send your shoulders back, look forward or up. And on the exhale, press down with your hands to lift your belly up, separate your shoulders, maybe look towards your feet. Inhale, back to cow, drop your belly, pull your chest forward. Do a few more rounds at your own pace. You can also add some movement, maybe move your hips side to side or in circles. You can tuck and untuck your toes. And then come to a flat back when you're ready. And we're just gonna do a little shoulder work. So try to dip your left shoulder down, but keep your right arm straight. Maybe look over your right shoulder if you can. I love this stretch. Inhale, come back to all fours. We'll switch sides. So bend your right elbow. Try to keep your left arm straight. Maybe look back. Let's do one more on each side. Straighten that right elbow. Dip your left shoulder. Back up. And then dip your right shoulder. Look over your left. Then we'll come back to all fours. We'll do a little balancing. So reach your right arm forward, with your thumb up, like you're gonna shake someone's hand. And then send your left leg back straight. Your foot can be on the floor, or if you wanna add some balancing, you can lift it off the floor. I like to keep my eyes on the floor, engage my belly, and breathe. Exhale, lower your hand and foot down, but keep that left leg straight. And slide your left foot all the way over to the right. Look over your right shoulder. You can also add more of an extension here if you walk your hands over to the right a little bit. And slowly come back to center. Bring your foot back to center and then place your knee back on the floor for all fours. We'll switch sides. So this time extend your left arm forward, right leg straight. If you want, you can lift that back leg up. Try to engage your belly. That means just pull your belly button up a little bit toward your spine. Exhale, lower down your left hand, right foot. Keep your right leg extended and slide your right foot over to the left. Look over your left shoulder. Again, if you'd like, you can walk your hands to the left a little. Feel it all along your right side. And then walk your hands back to center. If they're not already, slide your foot back to center. Come back to all fours. Let's do a couple more rounds of cat-cow. Hope you feel some more space in your spine here. A little bit more loose. Then come to a flat back and we'll move into child's pose. So spread your knees wide, bring your toes together, sit back on your heels, put your arms forward, maybe bring your forehead to the mat. Just feel your belly inhale, expand and deflate between your thighs. Again, this is a great place to rest. Please take this position if you need a break or you just want to rest. It's a great position. It's a great body stretch. While we're here, let's just do a shoulder stretch. So take your right hand and slide it under your left armpit. Maybe bring your right cheek or right ear to the mat. A child's pose, threaded needle. And then switch sides. So bring your right hand back to where it was. Take your left hand, slide it under your right armpit. Bring your left ear cheek to the mat. Slowly unwind. Bring your left hand back. And you can just sit back on your heels one time, or press back one last time. And then we're going to prepare for our first downward facing dog. So you want to bring your hands about hips distance apart. Same with your knees, about hips distance apart. Your toes about hip distance apart. And then tuck your toes. Press down with your hands like you're pressing the mat away to lift your hips up and back. Try to round your shoulders around your back. Get some space between your arms and ears. Your heels don't have to reach the floor. In fact, I encourage you to bend one knee at a time here. Find some movement, maybe move your hips side to side. Shake your head yes and no. Really be thoughtful about putting an equal amount of weight in your hands and your feet. You don't want to dump all your weight into your hands and wrists. So you might need to press back a little more. When it comes to stillness, again, your knees can be bent a little bit, but you're kind of reaching for your heels to meet the floor. Mine don't reach, but that's the goal, down facing up. And on your next inhale, lift your right leg up. You doesn't have to go up too far. And then exhale, bend that knee, pull it through center. Maybe take a few steps or one step to place your foot between your hands and forward lunge. Slowly lower your left knee down. If you need some padding, you can fold your mat or find a blanket or a towel. And then inch your right foot up a couple inches or so. Bring the top of your left foot to the floor and then inhale your chest and arms up. Relax your shoulders. Maybe bend your right knee a little more. You don't have to. And then interlace your fingers and bring them behind your head, like almost at the bottom. There's usually like a little bump there, right under the bump. And press your head into your hands. Lift your chest. Feel a nice back bend. Breathe. And slowly unlace your fingertips. Bring them to your palms together at your heart. And we're just going to take a little twist. So slowly twist over to the right. And then maybe hook your left elbow across your right knee. So it doesn't have to be a deep twist. We're just warming it up. And then slowly untwist. Bring your hands down on the floor. And we're going to work to half split. So start straightening your right leg. You don't have to straighten it all the way. Just feel a nice hamstring stretch in the back of the right hamstring. You can keep your hips up. Maybe it's better for you to sit back on your left heel. I prefer to stay up, but I just want to give you some options. And you're reaching your chest forward. Again, not hunching your back. Reaching forward, sending your shoulders back. Maybe play with the flex and point of your toes. Then slowly bend your right knee. Tuck your left toes. And then step back to downward facing dog. So do the other side. On your next inhale, lift your left leg up. And on your exhale, bend that knee, pull it through center like you're going towards your forehead. And you can take a few steps or one big step to a lunge. Slowly lower down your right knee. Again, pat it if you need to. And before you lift your arms up, let's inch our left toes up a little bit. So we get a nice quad stretch too. And then on your next inhale, lift your arms and chest up. Drop your shoulders. Maybe bend a little bit deeper in that left knee. And then again, interlace your fingers. Bring them behind your head, right above your neck. Press your head into your hands. Lift your chest. Take a few deep breaths here. Interlace your fingertips. Bring them palms together at your chest. Slowly twist over to the left. Maybe hook your right elbow across your left knee. Send your left shoulder back. So you're opening your chest here. And slowly untwist. Bring your hands down on the floor or blocks if you use them. And start to straighten that left leg. Again, maybe flex your left toes. Reach forward. Send your shoulders back. And slowly bend that left knee. Tuck your right toes and step back to downward facing dog. All right, we're gonna do a little twist in downward facing dog. So maybe walk your feet closer to your hands, maybe just like a little step, one step forward. And then lift your right hand off the mat and reach for the outside of your left shin, left ankle, or left foot. Maybe look under your left armpit. Breathe deep here. And then place your right hand back to where it was. We'll switch sides. So lift your left hand off the floor of the mat and reach for the outside of your right shin, ankle, or foot. Look under your right armpit. And untwist. Place your left hand back on the mat. Look towards your hands and then bend your knees. And then take a few little steps or one step or a hop to the front of your mat. So in a forward fold. And let's just hang a ragdoll. Bend your knees good. Let your belly rest on your thighs. Let gravity pull the top of your head to the ground floor. And you can wave side to side. Maybe drag your hands along the floor. You can hook your elbows with your thumbs and move side to side. I love this lower back stretch, especially in the morning. Then come to center and stillness, and we'll slowly roll up to standing. So from standing, we'll just do a standing twist here. So in mountain pose, you really just want to like press down with your feet, like feel the floor underneath. You can bring your toes a little bit closer than your heels and engage your core, lift your chest, send your shoulders back and down. So for the first, we're just gonna do one twist. Send your left arm forward out in front of you, like you're gonna shake somebody's hand again. And then send your right arm back. And keeping your hips forward, turn and try to look at your right fingertips. But keep your hips facing forward. All right, let's switch sides. So bring your right arm forward, left arm goes back, and slowly twist from your belly to look back at your left finger. Keep your hips facing forward. Exhale, come back forward, bring your arms to the side. We're just gonna do a couple sun salutations just to start moving body with breath. So we'll move through two sun salutation A's. So from mountain pose, again, lift your chest, relax your shoulders down. Inhale your arms up, maybe look up, and then exhale, hinge from your hips to bow down to the floor. Inhale, halfway lift, hands can be on your shins or the floor as you pull your chest forward. Exhale, lower down, bring your hands to the floor and step back to plank. From plank, slowly lower your whole body at one time, or you can lower your knees first. Either way, keep your elbows close to your body as you lower down to the floor. We're gonna do a little shoulder stretch here. I know you can see me, but let's cactus our hands and tent our fingers on the floor. So it's like a goal pose. And on the inhale, lift your chest up. And on the exhale, dip your right shoulder down towards the mat, look over your left shoulder. And then inhale your chest up through center, and dip your left shoulder down, look over your right. We'll do that one more time on each side. Inhale up through center. Exhale, drop your right shoulder down, look over your left. Inhale up to center. Dip your left shoulder down, look over your right. Inhale up to center one last time. Maybe pull up a little bit more. And then exhale, lower all the way down. Bring your hands next to your ribs where they were when we first came down on the mat. And then inhale up to cobra, so pull your chest up and forward. Your elbows can be bent. And your exhale, lower everything down. Tuck your toes, come through all fours or plank, and lift up to downward facing dog. Remember your breathing. Remember you're pretending you're pressing the mat away. Press down with your fingers on the mat. And on your next exhale, lift your heels, bend your knees, look towards your hands, and take a few little steps, one step or one big hop to the front of your mat. Inhale that halfway lift, hands on shin, chest goes up and forward. Exhale, forward fold. Press down, maybe bend your knees a little bit to give you some strength to lift your chest and arms up. Just standing, raise your arms up, look up. Maybe feel a little back bend. And then on your next exhale, swan dive, fold back down to the floor. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands to the floor, step back to plank. Lower all the way down at once, or knees first, elbows close to body. And then inhale, peel your chest up and forward for cobra. Maybe straighten your arms out a little more here. Exhale, lower down, tuck your toes, lift up to all fours or plank to downward facing dog. Breaths here. Maybe pedal your knees. All right, on your next exhale, bend your knees, look towards your hands, and come to the front of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, rise up and standing. Lift your chest up, arms up, look up. This time on the exhale, take a seat in chair pose. Keep your arms lifted, arms next to your ears. Pretend you're sitting in a chair, look down to make sure you can see the top of your toes. If not, you need to sit back on that chair a little more. Reach your arms up. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands to the floor and step your left foot back to a lunge. So your right foot is forward. And then place your left heel on the ground and your left toes are pointing to about 10 o'clock. And then inhale, rise up to standing warrior one. So if you need to, you can send your left foot out to the left a little bit more for stability. But really, you want to just try to square your hips forward. That's really important. And drop your shoulders, lift your chest. This is totally optional, but we'll do a shoulder stretch. So if you can bend your left elbow and pat the middle of your back with that hand, and take your right hand out to the side, reach it around to the back, palms facing outward. So maybe your fingertips touch, maybe they don't. Maybe you grab your shirt. Really reach your left elbow to the side, right elbow to the floor. Lift your chest. Breathe. And slowly release. Inhale your arms up if they're not already up. And then exhale, circle your arms around, bring them to the floor. Hands to the floor, come to a lunge, lift that left heel up, and step back to plank. So you can lower all the way down if you're ready for a full vinyasa. You can shift your shoulders forward, then lower halfway down, elbows close to body. Inhale, flip your feet, come up to upward facing dog or cobra, and then exhale, downward facing dog. I'd like to remind you, you can skip the upward facing dog and just meet us in downward facing dog anytime. So we'll do the other side. When you're ready, inhale your left leg up. Exhale, bring it through center. Plant your foot next to your left thumb. And then lower your right heel on the floor, toes pointed to about 2 o'clock. Inhale, lift your torso up, chest lifted, arms lifted. Again, remember trying to square our hips forward. All right, if you want that shoulder stretch, bend your right elbow, pat the middle of your back with your right hand. Reach your left arm out to the side, and then reach around, palms facing out. Maybe your fingers connect, maybe you have a strap. Sometimes I just like to grab my shirt. And reach your right elbow up, reach your left elbow down. Don't forget to breathe. Also, is there somewhere you can soften? Are your toes gripping the mat tight? Can you soften them? Is your jaw clenched? Can you loosen it? And slowly let go. Inhale your arms up, lift your chest. Exhale, bring your hands to the floor and step back to plank or down facing dog. If you're on plank, lower all the way down or shift forward, lower halfway down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, down facing dog. Exhale, bend your knees, look towards your hands, and step or hop forward to the front of your mat, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward. Bend your knees. Take a seat. Raise your arms up for chair pose. Utkatasana. Breathe. Exhale to standing. Woo. All right, I think we're pretty much warmed up, so we're gonna get back on the floor and do some more twists. Feel free to get some water. Again, take a little break, find a fan, turn it on. So for mountain pose, inhale your arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands to the floor, and let's just step back to downward facing dog. On your next inhale, raise your right leg up. And on the exhale, bend that knee, punch your back, hold that knee through center like you're gonna tap your nose, and then plant your right foot between your hands. On your next inhale, lift up, circle your left arm around to warrior two. So you lowered your left heel on the floor, there's an imaginary line from your right heel to your left arch. Open your chest out here. All right, we're gonna move with a little bit of movement here. So on the inhale, reach forward with your right hand, reach forward. And on the exhale, reach back with your left. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale. Last time, reach forward, 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 and then rest your right elbow onto your thigh. Reach your left arm up or over your ear for side angle pose. Again, open your chest here. Maybe look under your left armpit. You can also do a half bind or full bind by taking your left hand, bring it behind you, and just resting your hand on the top of your right thigh. If you want a full bind, you take your right hand in front of you, reach it between your legs, and maybe your fingers meet. But still, wherever you are, send that left shoulder back. Open your chest here. Breathe. You can also rest your right hand on the floor or block. That's an option. Okay, next, inhale, release your fingers if they're bound, and bring your torso back up to warrior two. This time we're gonna move to a triangle. So work to straighten your right leg. Send your hips back as you reach forward that right hand like you did about a minute ago. So you can't reach anymore, and then lower that right hand down. You can rest it on the floor, on the inside of your ankle, or if you have a block, you can rest that hand on a block. Again, send that left shoulder back, open up. You can add some core work by lifting that right hand off the floor, whatever it's resting on. Maybe you reach it forward towards me. Maybe pretend you're holding a ball. Inhale your torso back up to standing. This time we're gonna pivot to crescent lunge. So lift your arms up and then lift your left heel up and point your toes towards the front. So we're just in a standing lunge to the front. And then if you can, bring that back leg a little bit closer so you can straighten both legs and get both heels on the floor. And then bring your right hand on your hip. Inhale, lift your chest, reach your left hand up. And on the exhale, reach forward with your left hand, forward, forward, forward. And then maybe touch the outside of your right foot, ankle, or leg. If you have a block, you can have a block on the outside of your right foot. And then slowly try to twist over to the right. So send that right shoulder back. Your right hand can stay in your hip. Maybe you lift it up. This is not an easy pose. It's okay to be wobbly or fall. Then slowly bring your right arm down. You have a block, move it out of the way. Bring your hands to the floor, bend both knees. Send your left knee out back further so you're in a lunge. This is our vinyasa. Step back to plank or meet us in downward facing dog. If you're in plank, shift forward or halfway down or all the way down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. All right, we're gonna do the other side. All right, next inhale, lift your left leg up. On the exhale, bend that knee, pull it through center, plant that foot between your hands. And on the inhale, rise up to warrior two. Again, open your chest. Look down and make sure you can see your big left toe. If not, you send that left knee out towards the pinky a little more. Open your chest. Then on your next inhale, reach forward with your left hand. And exhale, back. Inhale forward. Exhale back. Inhale forward. And then rest that left elbow on your thigh. Reach your right arm up or over your ear. Your left toes are gripped tight. Loosen them up. Again, side angle pose is where you want it. You can bring your left hand down to the floor, rest on the inner part of your ankle. You can reach your right arm behind behind you. Maybe put that hand on top of your thigh. Maybe you do a full bind. Really try to open your chest here. Slowly release. And inhale your torso back up to warrior two. In preparation for triangle, start straightening that left leg. Send your hips back as you reach forward with your left hand, arm. Reach, reach, reach. And then lower that left arm down. You can raise your right arm up. You can rest your right hand on your hip, but really send that right shoulder back to open your chest. Again, if you want some core work, let that bottom arm hang. Use your core to keep you up, or maybe you lift your arm forward or up. Next, inhale, lift your torso back up. And then slowly start to pivot that back foot so your toes point towards the front and your back heel is lifted. Inhale, raise your arms up, lift your chest. And then bring your left hand on your hip. Inhale, reach your right arm up. And then work to straighten both legs. Maybe you need to bring your right foot closer to your left. So lift your chest and then work to hinge forward, reaching forward with your right hand. Reach, reach, reach. And then bring that hand to the outside of your left leg or foot. And then if you can, start to twist over to the left. Send that left shoulder back. Maybe raise that left arm up or not. And then next exhale, slowly bring that left hand down. Bring your foot with both hands, bend both knees. Step your right foot back to a lunge. This is our vinyasa. We'll meet in downward facing dog. You're in plank, shift forward, lower halfway down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath, maybe stop and get water. Alrighty. When you're ready, on your next inhale, raise your right leg up. And then bend your knee, open up your hips, send your knee up to the sky. Try to make some circles with that knee. Maybe rotate your ankle in both directions. And then straighten that right leg. And slowly pull it forward, plant that foot between your hands. Keep your left heel up off the floor and come up for that crescent lunge. Lift your chest, drop your shoulders. Then bring your palms together at your chest. And hinge forward. And then hook your left elbow across your right knee for a twist here. If this is hard, you can lower your left knee to the floor and you still get the same benefit. If you want to move deeper into this twist, try to drag your thumbs closer to your heart. And then if your left knee is lowered, pick it up off the floor and look towards your toes. And then step your left foot to meet your right. So we're in a twisted chair. And then the only thing here is try to even out your knees. I feel like the left knee tries to jet forward. Try to even them out. And then slowly move to center, to a regular chair. Whew. And come to standing. All right, we're going to do a couple of standing poses, a little twist. Again, if you have a strap or a scarf, that might might be helpful, but you definitely don't need it. So I'll cue it with both. So first, you know, from a nice pose, make sure your chest is lifted, your shoulders are back, your quads are engaged, and then lift your right knee up. So if you have a strap, you can wrap the strap around your knee or the bottom of your foot, like the ball of your foot, but I'm not gonna cue the strap. And take your left hand and place it on your knee. And then take your right hand and reach back. And then slowly twist to look back at your right hand, but keep that right knee forward. If you have a strap, you could just hold on to the strap here with your left hand. And then slowly unwind. We'll do the other side. I'll add a lot more modifications here. So again, shift the weight into your right foot, leg, and lift your left knee up. If you have a strap or a belt, you can put it around your knee, around the ball of your foot. Otherwise, grab your left knee with your right hand, or if you can straighten your leg, you might want to take 2 peace fingers and grab your big toe. Reach your left arm back and slowly twist to look back at your fingers. Maybe you can straighten that leg. Keep your chest lifted here to help you balance. And slowly untwist. Bring that leg down. All right, now we're gonna move into eagle. So it's actually twisting your body. Again, I'll give some modifications here. So shift the weight into your left leg. Then raise your right knee up. And figure 4 that foot on top of your left knee. And then if you can, maybe you can wrap it all the way around. All of our bodies are different, so everybody does it. And then bring your arms out to the side and swing your right arm under your left. So you can give yourself a hug, or maybe you can twist your arms. Maybe you just bring your forearms together. And then take a little seat. If your arms are in the full eagle twist, try to lift your elbows up and send your hands away from your face. So you're aligning your elbows with your shoulder. Maybe ungrip your toes on the mat. And slowly stand and come out of it. Woo! So we're going to do the other side. So shift the weight. Yeah, shake it out. And then shift the weight into your right leg. Inhale your left knee up. You can start by figure 4ing it. And maybe you stay here. Or maybe you can hook that foot around your shin. Bring your arms out to the side. And this time swing your left arm under. So again, you can give yourself a hug. You can try to come in the full twist. But take a little squat here. Keep your right toes loose. Then if you're in full eagle arms, try to lift your elbows and send your hands away from your face. And then slowly untwist when you're ready. Maybe pedal out your feet. Roll your shoulders back and forward. It's a good pose. We'll get back to where we were. So from the front of your mat, this time let's just step our right foot back to a lunge. And then inhale your arms up, crescent lunge. Lift your chest, drop your shoulders, breathe. Bring your palms together at your heart. And then hinge forward. And then slowly twist to the left. Hook your right elbow across your knee. And if you need to drop that right knee down, that's fine. Again, if you want to deepen the twist, drag your Thumbs towards your heart. If your right knee is on the floor, lift it, and then look down at your left toes, and then bring your right foot to meet your left, so we're in a twisted chair. Again, try to even out your knees. Breathe. Slowly turn forward. And then stand. Woo! And then step your left foot back again. And then come out to the side of your mat. So you're facing the side of your mat. Your toes are pointed towards the corners of the mat. Inhale, lift your chest, raise your arms. And on the exhale, fold forward between your legs, standing straddle fold. You can point your toes more forward if that helps. You can also adjust your legs. Maybe you can go a little bit wider. Maybe you need to move them close together. We're going to do a little twist here. So walk your hands over to your right foot and take your left hand and touch the outside of that leg, ankle, foot, and raise your right arm up. Maybe look up at your fingers. Exhale, lower the right hand down. Walk your hands over to your left foot. Bring your right hand to the outside of that foot, ankle, or leg, and raise your left arm up. Exhale, lower down. And then walk your hands to the front of your mat, whichever foot's to the front of your mat, and pivot your toes to the front, so we're in a lunge. And then slowly drop your left knee. Hopefully your right foot's forward. If not, it doesn't matter. But lower that back knee. And then we're gonna move into pigeon pose. So you wanna come down on the outside of that right foot and bring that foot somewhere behind your left wrist. And your right knee should be somewhere behind your right wrist. And you want to look back to make sure that your left leg is straight back, not straight out to the side. And so press down on the floor with your hands to lift your chest. Maybe you stay here. Maybe you walk your hands forward or down a little bit or a lot. Come on your forearms. You could also put something under that right hip so it doesn't feel too stretched. So I like to put a block or a rolled up towel or a blanket under there. If it's too much, stay up. This is a deep hip stretch, but it shouldn't hurt. So if it's feeling any pain, come out of it. All right, if you want an option for a twist, you can walk your hands up and bend your left knee and take your right hand and reach around and maybe you find your foot. Just an option, not required. And slowly let go of that foot if you have it. Slowly lower to the floor. If you're on your forearms, you can walk your hands and torso back up as you come out of it. So you want to tuck your left toes or your back toes. And then lift your right leg up to a three-legged dog. Bend your knee, open up your hips, maybe shake it out a little bit. And then lower that foot on the floor, back to downward facing dog. We'll do the other side. So on your inhale, lift your left leg up. Bend your knee. Try to point your knees to the ceiling. Maybe make a couple circles. Rotate your ankles. And then straighten that leg. Prepare for half pigeon. So you want to bring your left foot somewhere behind your right wrist and your left knee somewhere behind your left wrist. So my foot isn't right behind my wrist, but it's somewhere behind there. And if you want a little bit more stretch, you can flex that toe. Again, look back to make sure your right leg is straight back. Press down with your hands, lift your chest, and you can stay here. You can walk your hands forward, come down your forearms, or maybe your forehead reaches your hands. And if you want to twist, you can walk your torso up, bend that right knee, take your left hand, reach around for your foot. A nice twist, arm stretch, hip opener, hip opener. Slowly come out of it. Walk your hands up with their mat. Touch your right toe with that knee. And then bend the left leg up. The three-legged dog. You can bend your knee, open your hips, take it out. And straighten that leg out. Come back to down facing dog. And then slowly lower your knee to the floor. Woo. And we'll be on our back. All right, so on your back, keep your knees bent with your feet planted on the floor. We'll just go through one bridge pose. I like to end half with that. So I usually like to reach my hands to brush against the back of my heel. That's usually like a good place, but maybe you're further away from your body, a little bit closer. We're just gonna do one bridge pose, like a nice back bend to end the practice. So press down with your feet to lift your hips up. And then if you can, roll your shoulders under your back. You can also grab the edges of the mat with your hands and turn your knuckles towards the floor. Lift your chest a little more. Keep your eyes up to the ceiling. Breathe. Hike up your hips a little more here. And then slowly release everything down. Bring your arms out to the side. With your feet up, keep your knees bent. And slowly drop your knees over to the left. Over at your right fingertips. Try to keep your right shoulder on the floor. And also straighten that right leg. Sometimes I like to grab my right toe with my left finger for a deeper twist. Done a lot of twists, so this should be pretty easy and fluid for you. And when you're ready, lift your knees up to center. And then slowly lower them over to the right, lifting over at your left fingertips. So keep your left shoulder on the floor. Feel free to straighten that left leg. Maybe grab your foot. Slowly bring your knees up to center. And the last molds are calling you. Maybe you send your legs up to the ceiling. Nice conversion. I like to grab each foot, rock side to side, happy baby. Open the mat, giving me a massage. And then we're going to move into our final resting position box now. So straighten out your legs. Put your lay out to the side, bring your arms by your side with your palms facing upward. Close your eyes. Find your natural breath. Release all strands of tension out of your body. Visualize your body melting into the mat. You start to bring awareness back into your breath and body. Maybe start to take a deep breath. Maybe your fingers and toes. Circle your wrists and ankles. And bend your knees and roll over to one side. Then keep your eyes closed. Use your arm as a nice pillow here. I'd like to remind you to bring your mind back to any intention you said or some nice kind thoughts you sent yourself or someone else. And then when you're ready, you can push yourself up to a comfortable seated position. You can keep your eyes closed and you can rest your hands on your knees, on your heart, palms together at your heart. And I'd like to just take a moment to reflect on the great time you took for yourself, to focus on your breath and your body. And I'd like to thank you for letting me lead the class today. And now let's show gratitude for the yoga practice, each other and ourselves. And bow and say namaste. Good job, everyone.
That was awesome. Thank you so much, Tiffany. My first time doing class with you.
Thanks for
Oh my gosh, for real? Me too.
I was like, oh my gosh, I would have to skip church school once a month at least. But I was sweating it up, boy. But
that was good. Yeah, it's a little workout, so you're gonna sweat, but
shoulders
yeah,
feel
hopefully
good.
you feel nice and wrung out. Like I really love